Hillbrook Insane Asylum Patient File Update. Entry by Dr. Quentin Quatermain. Yes, a couple out there genuinely named their child Quentin Quatermain, and somehow did not foresee the years of schoolyard taunting he would receive as a result. Middle name. Want to know what it is? Quincy. Quincy! His name is Quentin Quincy Quatermain! I must say though, Doctor, I've been most looking forward to having a go with your voice. So much more melodic than Barry's is. It's a real shame you became a psychiatrist and not a lounge singer. Might have saved us both some heartache. Oh, look at you, racking that brain of yours, trying to figure out what's going on. Right now you're asking yourself, why? Why is Barry holding me against my will? How is Barry doing a perfect impression of my voice? Well, those right there are the wrong questions. What you really should be asking yourself, Quentin, is how was Barry, a man who was once hospitalized by a one-legged nutcase like Pistonhead, then able to go toe-to-toe with a trained hitman like Frankie the Pencil, and barely get scratched? Yes, now you're getting it. Barry went to the hospital, but he never came back to the asylum. I kept him around for a while. Had to get down all his little nuances before I could properly lose myself in the role. But once that was done, he'd outlived his usefulness. As have you, Doctor. Oh, your face. You actually think I just shot you? I'm not even holding a gun, Quentin. No, that's just one of the noises I can make. Take a listen.
Silent scan.
An impressive skill, isn't it? Everyone else certainly thought so. While I was growing up, that's all they would ask for. Do my voice, do her voice, make this sound, make that sound. They truly adored this talent, and yet cared so little for the person it belonged to. I was almost always speaking in someone else's voice, repeating their words, never my own, because my words rarely had the chance to come out. Still, I carried on catering to the whims of my peers, hoping it would make me popular. That is the goal when you're young. Of course, they remained uninterested in me. All that mattered to them was my novelty. But when a person is defined by their novelty, when it becomes them, when it is all they are they still a person? Are they truly alive? I was alive once. I'm certain of it. I was an outcast in a little village. Everyone knew of me, but nobody knew me. At least, nobody that I can remember. Except one. The one that had gotten me this far. The one who stopped the real me from fading away. You, Dr. Quatermain. You knew the real me and you listened to him, no matter what he had to say. And as you put it yourself quite nicely, sometimes the one thing they truly need more than anything else is someone who will listen to them. Of course, You said something else in that patient file of yours now, didn't you? About your original clienteles? Is that it? Is that all we were to you? Is that all I was to you? Just another client. A job that you can take up and leave whenever you like. Because that's precisely what you did. You left. Left so you could run a scam over in London. Left me to fall apart. Without you, without my doctor, without my rock keeping me grounded, I could no longer hold on. My true self was set adrift, drowning in a torrent of imitation and repetition, until I awoke one day to realize that I no longer knew who I was anymore. I was gone. Only the novelty remained now. This power of mine, what was supposed to be a gift, had become a curse. I was nobody, a non-entity with neither purpose nor drive, wandering aimlessly. Do you have any idea what it's like to lose your sense of being? To look in the mirror and no longer recognize the person staring back? I can tell you, it is quietly terrifying. As I wandered, I would pick up on the traits of those around me, leeching off of their random quirks, their habits, fragments of their identities. Identity is strange to me. Unobtainable, yet, perhaps for that reason, so enthralling. One day, I encountered a man by the name of Kyle Offenhauser. He was a plumber, self-employed, lived alone, yet I was intrigued by him. See, every week on the dot, he'd walk into the newsagents and buy a lottery ticket. In his situation, he must be on a budget, yet he throws away money like that? A risk-taker? I had to learn more. Turns out, Kyle was very smart with his money. Always made sure he had enough to provide for himself, kept some off to the side in a savings account, and anything left will be spent on the lottery ticket. He wasn't doing it for himself, though. He hoped to win so that he may pay for his ailing mother's treatments. A truly noble man. Inspiring, almost heroic. But to the average onlooker, he was just another face in the crowd. Of course, the average onlooker hadn't been spying on him from inside his own apartment for the past week. Kyle did not react well upon discovering me. He demanded I get out, going for the phone to call the police. I should have run away. But Kyle, his life, it was all I had. Without it, I would be forced back into that state of nothingness. So you must understand, I had no choice. I had to kill him. Assuming his identity was easy enough, by then I had gotten down all of his behavior patterns and thought processes. Oh, did it feel fantastic to be someone again, to have a name, a purpose, to be alive once more. Exploring Kyle's life, learning every detail, every attribute, every weakness, every little eccentricity. I had never been so happy. Of course, that happiness couldn't last. I had been Kyle Offenhauser for nearly a week. I did his job, frequented the same establishments he did, even bought the lottery ticket. However, it was time for the annual visit with Mother at the hospital. I mean, I was Kyle now, I had to go see her. But she knew Kyle, the real Kyle, too well, and saw straight through the facade. That's when reality sank in. Yes, I had an identity again, but it wasn't my own. I was still nothing more than an imitation, a fraud. That was all I could ever be. Still, I tried to convince myself that wasn't the case. I found another subject of fascination soon after. A nurse called Nathan Griffin. Early 20s, just got married, had a kid on the way. Yet, with all that responsibility, he still found the time to keep 2 mistresses on the side, along with whatever floozies he could pick up at the bar. Oh, the insecurities that man had. It ended the same way as before, although in this case it took his wife 2 weeks to figure out that it was really me. It's fascinating how 2 people who once loved each other can grow so distant. Again and again the process repeated itself. I would discover a person of interest, study them, kill them, then become them. Sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months. I think Cody Bates was my favourite. Son of an oil tycoon, ran off to be a surfer, once got attacked by a shark. But in the end, even that persona just felt as hollow as all the others. None of them were truly me. Eventually I was caught. The trail of stolen identities I left in my wake was practically a roadmap straight to me after all. But I was not imprisoned. Not for long. The day I should have been put on trial, a bunch of suits came and arranged for my release. As with everyone in my life, they were only interested in my abilities, wanted me to do some jobs for them in exchange for my freedom. A secretive organization filled with people who think they're doing good by murdering other people? How could I say no to that? I would come to regret this choice. Oh sure, I got a lot out of the deal. Training, weapons, proper disguises. They even gave me a code name. A title to call my own. Lyrebird. Appropriate, but I lost something as well. I'd thought all ties to my true self had been cut long ago. They hadn't. Not yet. On most jobs, I'd be outfitted with a special face mask of the individual I was supposed to impersonate. But for long-term assignments, I had to undergo surgery. That face, looking back in the mirror that I could never put a name to, it was gone. I could no longer even enjoy exploring the identities I took on. It was all work. Now, more than ever, I was no one. Just the novelty. Until Hillbrook. Hillbrook came to the attention of my employers, and by extension me. Why they're interested in this place, I've no idea. But your name came up, and that's when I remembered. See, my memory has always been temperamental, selective. I can recall every last detail of anyone I meet, while my own identity eternally remains a blur. But in that one instance, for the first time in years, I remembered something about me. I remembered you. You had been there to help me, and you could help me again. All I had to do was get close. Barry was an unremarkable man. In fact, the only thing remarkable about him was just how incredibly unremarkable he was. But I needed to keep a low profile. This little operation of mine hadn't been officially sanctioned, so to speak. I might have, at times, gone a little overboard with Barry's incompetence, caused a bit of havoc. But it had been so long since I was last able to have fun with one of my roles. Can you really blame me for getting carried away? Besides, the truth's out now. Playtime's over. Thanks for listening, Doctor. I feel much better having gotten that all off my chest. But you know what will make me feel even better? Knowing who I truly am again. I know you kept a file, Quentin. I haven't been able to find it yet, but I know you kept one on me. You're meticulous. You pride yourself on good bookkeeping. All I need is my name. Just tell me my name. Then you can go back to your life, and I can finally go back to mine. Right. It's... Well, what are you waiting for? Tell me my name!
Derek. No, it's... Richard. Kevin. Joe. Oliver. Kenny. Ted.
You're guessing.
Scott. John. Alan. Gordon. Virgil.
Now you're just listing the Thunderbirds.
Look, I don't know, okay? I'm sorry. I don't know. I know I treated someone with your condition, but I can't recall his name. I'm sorry.
Where is the file, Quentin?
It's gone. Destroyed. When I moved to London, there was no reason to keep my old patient files. They contain sensitive information, so I thought it'd be safest to...
Sorry. You're sorry that you destroyed my last chance. You're not sorry. How can you be? You can't possibly comprehend the pain. The pain of losing touch with yourself. But you will. Oh, yes. Luckily for me, most of the legwork's already been done. You might not realize it, Quentin, but you're not all that far away from where I stand right now. You've lost so much that is essential to you. Your identity. In fact, there are only two things left. Two aspects of your life that bring you purpose. One, while you won't admit it, is Hillbrook. Trying to save these wayward souls. Those small victories, hints that you're making a difference. It's not much, but it's something to keep you going. Then there's the other thing. The thing that brings you joy. And it goes... That's it then. I'm gonna go kill your cat, then set fire to the asylum. Then and only then can you know my pain. Don't be so upset, Quentin. In a way, I'm helping you. After all, it's important for a psychiatrist to understand what their patient is going through.